as he wants it so be.
Hey everybody, so I am live for our film study for today. The film study we're doing is going to go over one of my hand positions. I call it the Phalanx Guard. I'll show it to you guys, but before we do that, I kind of want to warm up with some fun stuff to watch. We're going to watch Pernell Whitaker move his head. He's really amazing at it. So let's take a look at some of the amazing stuff he does. Alright, let's get to it. There it is. Pernell Whitaker had a really good way of walking, even while he was moving his head. So he could move his head in any angle and any posture. The really important thing is to look at his lead shoulder, his right shoulder. Look at it's like pointed at the enemy like the whole time. Oof, that was a close one. See how the guy bounced off of his shoulder there? Beautiful, beautiful work. That was one of my favorites. He kind of leads you in by creating distance, and then when you try to close distance, he closes to you, and it's like a car crash. I love that. Oh man. He breaks a lot of rules, right? The rules that say that you're not supposed to cross your feet and do all these different things because he understands the principle of what he's doing. So he feints a lot. And what he does is he tries to make you want to hit him. If you want to hit him, then he knows what you want to do, and you become predictable to him. So all he has to do is change his position. It's not about like knowing exactly what punch you're gonna throw. They just know. All I know is I'm standing here, and you want to hit me. So all I have to do is not be here anymore. That's as simple as it gets. A lot of different hand positions as well that you can see. He does a lot of the shell, but also you see a lot of closed guard, and it's just different positions you'll see. He didn't use a whole lot of hand controls on people, like on their on their bodies. He hit them like this, but he didn't post on them a whole lot. That wasn't quite his style. The reason I think is because he loved to just hit you. Like if he had the opportunity to make you miss, instead of controlling your next punch, he already knows what you're gonna do. So instead of controlling it, he's just gonna hit you. Beautiful. See, just like that. Instead of like posting on him, he just uppercut him, went under, and then just said, "All right, let's do it again. Rinse and repeat." At that time, he turned him. That was a good turn. He'll spin you around like a ballerina. Ooh. Oh, he walked right into that one. Also, another thing to keep in mind, his posture. He has great posture, and that allows him to have great eyes and see what you're doing. So look at his head. He's looking directly at him, like the whole time. Even when he moves his head and all that stuff, his eyes are on the opponent. Ooh. See, look. Even as he's changing his head position and changing levels and all of that, he's always able to see the opponent and kind of figure out what he's doing. Okay, so that was really cool. That was really cool. So I wanna go over our lesson today, and or rather our film study today. And so to do that, I want to show you guys something that's really cool. let me get my photo. So, as you guys know, I have 10 stances. Okay, as part of my training method to help quantify all these different positions, right? And I have one here called the Phalanx Guard. Now, what that is when the front arm, or really one arm is crossed, in front, almost like a cross arm guard, but then the other hand is not quite there. It's active, and it's probably guarding the head, position. I'll show you guys in a photo that I have here. Okay, let me switch this over. Here you go. So this photo is of me, right, using my rattan ring. I use a Wing Chun like rattan ring to help me quantify these positions. How I came up with these. But this position is seen quite a bit in boxing, and people may not notice it, or you may not see it, or quantify it that way, but that's kind of why I'm here. I'll show you guys what I mean. Let's go back to our videos here and pull up Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson uses this quite a bit. Oh my goodness. It creates opportunity for him to punch the body, which is what he usually does with it. But let's take a look. Here we have Shakur Stevenson sparring with Yordenis Ugas, and he's a world champion at a higher weight class, right? He was a world champion at a higher weight class, but Shakur is still working with him right here. So first, let's just take a look at what they do in the beginning. If we look here, Ugas has a very shy stance here. It's a very shy high guard. Kind of inactive, but then he did shift his hand over. So that's a little bit different. That's cool. And we also have Shakur in a high guard. So he got touched and he said, hey, man. Look, they're talking now. Okay. So back to beginning. It is the same thing. High guard. Both of them. Already from the beginning. Right here. You see Shakur's front hand. Right. He threw the right hand. I'm sorry, the left hand. He threw his power hand here. Okay, boom. And then he touches with the lead hand. You can see it right here. You'll see it more clearly as we go further. He goes directly to the body. Boom. So he just set a theme. And you see how he pushed him with that front hand as well? So we already have a theme in the first 10 seconds of the sparring. Okay. Alright, so now Ugas wants to play with the lead hand. And then Shakur responds immediately. And there we have another Phalanx Guard. So here, let's go back, right? He's going to play with the lead hand, right? So as soon as he's like, okay, I want to throw something, right? You see how he's raising his right hand. He might follow up with a combination soon. Before he does that, right, Shakur positions himself by using this combination. Positions himself forward. And says, all right, I'm going to establish myself in the middle of the ring. You're not going to push me back. And then he said, well, since you want to put... See? He tried to push him back some more with a harder hook. He said, all right, so if you want to do that, Phalanx Guard here, right? This is not a punch. This is not a punch. This is a hand position. He's not punching him. He's using his arm as a tool so that he can set up, boom, almost a hidden body shot. You don't have to throw the body shot. It's just a position. Right, but that's just one of the techniques one of his favorite techniques. He goes back to the 2-3-2 to push him back. High guard again. Ooh. Oh, so look, he sticks his front hand out to see if he's gonna take a bait. Right? He said, "Hey, are you gonna come in with that big right hand?" And see how he touched here? And he's like, alright, so no right hand, so I'll wait. Then he goes back to his high guard. Guaranteed, if Ugas comes forward off of that lead hand bait from Shakur, he's getting countered. And since he doesn't, so then Shakur starts to walk forward. He inches his way forward. And does another one right here. Alright? Look here. Look at his front hand. Boom. Alright, even before the strike. Right, front hand occupying Wall Street right here, right, occupy, and then he attacks the body he doesn't even bring his hand back. He just keeps his hand on the opponent. That's something to take note of. keeping your hands on the opponent might be better than putting your hands up sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So I think Ugas is coming out of his shell a little bit. You see him moving around, all right? Maybe he's knocking off the rust or whatever it is, warming up. I love that blinding jab. Oh, the touch. Oh my goodness. Hold on. We gotta go back on that. See, so a blinding jab, he throws the left hand and uses it to angle. And then, so he threw the right hand, right? He's like, oh, okay. You right. He's like, you right. You right. He put his hands up. But watch this. Watch Shakur's lead hand. Right? Here. Boom. That wasn't a hook, right? He's just touching him. He's just trying to occupy his hands. And then he's going to do it again. Look. Lead control. There it is. That wasn't quite, a Phalanx Guard. He just put his hand over his eyes or tried to cover and try to keep his hands occupied and then attack the body. It's essentially what he's doing. So the whole point of the Phalanx Guard is occupying someone's guard with your hand horizontally like this. That's what I really wanted to point out and show you guys. I really like this position. Okay. Shakur is doing his best to hold his ground here, and if he takes a step back, you notice, see how he punches forward. Takes a step back, he punches forward. Okay, combination. Another Phalanx Guard here, or head control. Ooh, a double left hand. Okay, a little bit more oomph on his punch here. So he's like, all right, now you need to back up, sir. And we see a little bit of an adjustment from Ugas, if you guys notice. So Ugas starts throwing this right hand to the body because that's the only thing that he seems to be able to catch him with as Shakur comes forward. And now he switches to a right hook and then a right hand to the body again. So let's see if there's an adjustment in this last couple of seconds. Ooh, he tried to counter him. Shakur was ready. Posted on him again. There's another one. Phalanx Guard. Right? Right here. Just like that. Look at that. See how he kind of comes across his guard here. You see, he's not reaching for his front hand. That's the whole point of this. He's not reaching for his front hand. You see how he's kind of barring across almost both hands. And then he attacks the body. Like that. That is just such an important position. And to really quantify that is important. But, yeah, so the Phalanx Guard, though, if we see here, there was a small adjustment here from Ugas. He starts to attack the body with his rear hand. Now, again, this is against the southpaw. So it's a little bit different, right? It's a little bit different because look how far, like, his front hand is already in his face. So when he comes across for that phalanx, it's not comfortable for anybody. For him, for anybody that's dealing with it. So when they come in, that obviously means they're trying to occupy you to hit you with something. So instead of trying to fight against his guard, just attack under it. Right? If someone starts occupying you and holding your arms up here, right? Don't try to fight for it. Let him have it. He wants it so bad. Let him have it and go under. Attack under until they come down, and then you go over the top. Just like we saw here in the last... I think it was around here when he was in the corner. Yeah, right around here. Right here in the corner. Alright, we had a right hand there. This is before this. Yeah, right here. So we have an adjustment here, right? He says, you can have the lead hand. I'm going to throw the right hand. Over the top and under again. See? So now, Shakur is like, okay, well now I need to adjust. Start walking to his left and use the lead hand, the jab and hook, to set something up and bait him to attack. before you can get back into his Phalanx Guard package. So, beautiful work from both of them. I really love watching these types of sparring matches with great fighters that have strong resumes, because you gather a lot of data. The data that it won't necessarily tell you what will and won't work, but it tells you what a good fighter will do in response, usually, to certain tactics. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you guys next time. Wukong training method.